Good evening, everybody. This is Prerna. I will be discussing the chemistry paper. Paper was moderate to little tough, and I will be discussing first the organic questions, and I find them quite easy. So let's start. So see here, I will be writing the question. Okay, this question I have discussed in the classroom also. It is very easy. Okay, so this is which halide? This is vicinal dihalide, right? Okay, so we know that when we add zinc in vicinal dihalide, it converts into alkene. Okay, so this will be forming alkene, and what comes out? Zinc Br2. It will be forming the double bond. And the next reagent what they have given is HBr. Okay, so we know that whenever we add acid in the compound, the first thing is it forms cation. Okay, so let's form the cation. We'll use Markov rule because without uh, it is without peroxide, so it will form Markov addition. Okay, so which carbon you think has less number of hydrogen here? So this here it will come. Okay, and this is a very famous question of carbocation rearrangement. It is which carbocation? It is secondary carbocation. So we are going to do the hydride shifting here. So hydride will shift from here to here, and it will form which carbocation? Tertiary. Fine. Yes, from secondary to tertiary. Now Br will come and attack here. Here is the product. So let me check which option is the correct one. So they have given many options, and they have given the question without the rearrangement also. So normally the students will do this mistake. They will choose the option which is without the rearrangement. But we know whenever we add acid, carbocation may rearrangement happens. So the correct answer is second one. Okay. I hope you have understood. Let's move to the next one. Okay. So this question is being asked. The second question is being asked from the purification and analysis. Mostly students will leave this topic thinking that this is the last portion of the syllabus and they will not read it properly. But I have told the students that Carius method, Geldal method, Dumas method, all of this is very important. So the question is, in estimation of chlorine, in estimation of chlorine by Carius method. Okay. So this question is being asked from the purification and analysis, and Carius method is used for the halogen. Fine. 0.245 gram of organic compound gave 0.4553 gram of AgCl. Find the percentage of fluoride in the compound. So this was the question, and it is direct formula based. This I have mentioned in the class also. If they will ask the question from this topic, that will be directly formula based. We do not have to go deep in the theory. So I will write the formula here. So what is the formula for the Carius method? The formula here is percentage of chlorine is equal to 35.5, right? 35.5 is the weight of chlorine, divide by 143.5. This is the weight of AgCl. And it is very easy, direct formula based question. Mass of AgCl formed divide by mass of organic substance. Fine. Into 100. Fine. So this is the question, and this is the direct formula which we can apply here. Fine. So can you tell me what data is given here? In estimation of chlorine, 0.0245 of the organic compound. So what is the weight of organic compound here? Mass of organic compound is how much? 0.245, and it has given how much AgCl? These two things we need, and we have this in the question, and that's it. We can solve what is the percentage of chlorine. 35.5 divided by 143.5 into what is the mass of AgCl formed? 0.24. No, no, no. What is the mass? The mass here is 0.4553 of AgCl and 0.245. I hope you guys can do the calculation. I am leaving it on you. Fine. Let's do the calculation. That's it. Fine. So this was quite scoring question, just the formula based. And I have told you guys also that in this topic, if you have to do, just remember the formulas, nothing else. Let's move to the next question. So I will be taking, let me check once. Okay, we'll be doing the next question, and this is from the inorganic part and the chemical bonding. And chemical bonding is quite easy chapter, at the same time very scoring. The Vesper theory. For XeO2F2, select the correct statement. Select the correct statement. Fine. Okay, so the options here are, it shows seesaw shape. Okay, so seesaw means which shape? Like this. One lone pair, and four bond pairs. Okay, so just you can find the steric number, and even I have told in the class, if you guys will do the steric number, all the questions of chemical bonding will be done. So just you have to find here the steric number, that's it. And next is number of lone pair of electron on xenon. They have mentioned here on xenon they want, not the total number of lone pairs. Okay, and then angle 180-degree approx. They have mentioned approx, not exactly, and it has tetrahedral shape. Okay, so they have given these four options, and here these are the four statements, and the option here is A, C, D only, and then A and B, then A, B and C, and then B, C and D. Okay, so what we will do, we'll try to eliminate the options. So let's take this XeO2F2. Central atom xenon. How many valence electron for xenon? 8. How many monovalent atoms are there? Fluorine is the monovalent atom. So 8 plus 2 divide by 2. The number which we got is 5. Fine. Out of 5, 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pair, right? So can you tell me with this much information which options are correct? So number of lone pair on electron, lone pair of electron on xenon, number of lone pairs. So one lone pair we found, 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. So this seems correct. Fine. And what is the shape for this? I have written here 1 lone pair and 4 bond pair. The shape is seesaw. Correct? So this statement seems correct. This statement seems correct. If this is correct, then of course this one will be the wrong one. Fine. So let's eliminate. So which option seems correct? A and B. A and B is correct. So option D we can remove because we do not have A in it. And then what is the wrong one? D is wrong one. So we can remove this also. So we are left with B and C. Now this angle they are talking about. So xenon, this is the structure. Okay, fluorine and fluorine. F and F. This is a lone pair. So how you will imagine this? Xenon, one lone pair like this and like this. This is in the plane, like this, in the plane. like this, like this. So this angle, okay, so fine. So let's just, if you remember, for AB5, the structure is like this. B and B, the longer one, equatorial ones, and these two is the axial ones, right? And we know that this angle between these two is how much? 90 degree, not 180. It is like this, the plane, in the plane, and one up, one down. So this angle, if it is, it should be approximately equal to 90 degree, not 180. So this is also correct. So correct option seems A and B. Okay, so next, sir, physics sir will be coming. He will be discussing the physics question, and I will be back.
Yes, good evening everyone. So I have received actually a couple of questions from the paper, which in my opinion is kind of moderate questions, not a difficult question. So we'll discuss these two questions right now. So as we are doing the live, we are getting more and more questions. So I'll finish the two questions from physics and then Max will join, few questions from Max, right? So we'll keep alternating like this because the number of questions we are getting is one by one. So don't worry, we'll finish all your questions from the paper, right? So the question from physics, which we received is this. The first one is, when object is kept a distance of 8 centimeters, 24 centimeters from a convex lens, magnitude of magnification is same. So he's saying that we have a convex lens, some convex lens is there. He is saying if suppose object is kept at u is equal to 8 centimeters and u is equal to 24 centimeters, obviously negative, right? In front of the lens, if I kept it two distances, magnification is same. So if that is the case, what is the focal length of this lens, right? Now first think about this. Why will the magnification be same? If you remember the ray diagram of this, so we know that as you go from infinity, when you are at infinity, final image will be formed at focus. As you come from infinity, image also will move away, right? Now, as we know, if I cross two times of focal length, right? Till here, u is more, v is less. The image is diminished. Till here, u is more, v is less, image is diminished. Once you cross this, then it will be magnified. Now he's saying that magnification has to be same. Magnification has to be same. So magnification has to be same means one of the image has to be real, one of the image has to be virtual. Because if we consider only real images, the magnification will keep on increasing. It will keep on increasing. It won't be same. So for it to be same, one image has to be real, one image has to be virtual. Right? So if I take the condition, now let's go by the formulas. Let's go by the formulas, which is this. The magnification for a convex lens is V by U. He is given magnification is same and talked about U. So we have to find about F here. So I want to get F from this. How do you get it from this? So we know 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. I want to remove V. I have to write U and F. So I can write 1 by V is equal to 1 by U plus 1 by F. So we take the LCM. UF, U plus F. You know the formula already, right? So what is V is equal to? UF by U plus F. So which implies what is V by U? Magnification. This formula we know already directly, which is F by right? If I write, so this will be V is equal to UF by U plus F. So V by U becomes M, which is F by F plus U. The magnification along with the sign. So we have a convex lens, focal length is positive, and we have a real object, so U is negative. So you say magnification is same. So magnification is same means F divided by F plus U has to be U1 is equal to F divided by F plus U2, right? But if I solve like this, I get the wrong answer, right? Because F and F gets cancelled, F plus U1 cannot be equal to F plus U2. Why? Because so one of the image is real, one of the image is virtual. So magnification, one of them is positive, one of them will be negative. One magnification is positive, one is negative, then magnitude is same. So if I do that, so if this is positive, other thing has to be negative. So I write that, so F divided by U plus F1 is equal to minus of F divided by U plus F2. So FF gets cancelled. So directly basically we can write U plus F1 is equal to minus U minus F2, minus U2 minus F2. Sorry, U1 F1. Just a second. Right, so we can write F divided by U1 plus F is equal to F divided by U2 plus F. Negative. It has to be negative. So FF gets cancelled. We can write U1 plus F is equal to minus of U2 plus F. So we can write here U1 plus F is equal to minus U2 minus F. Now apply the data. What is U1? 1 is 8, 1 is 24. Along with the sign, I can write U1 is minus 8 plus F is equal to minus of minus 24 minus F. So minus I will take it here. It becomes 2F. So 2F has to be 24 minus 8. Right, 24 plus 8 will be 32. So F has to be 16. Final answer is 16. Right, you can verify this. How do you verify this? So focal length is 16. So we have two object positions. One is 8, one is 24. So means you are placing before the focus and beyond the focus. You place before the focus, we are getting virtual image. Here we are getting a real image. So one is magnification positive, one is negative, right? It's kind of a moderate question, moderate to easy question. So I got one more question here. So let me write the question. So for this, let me write the question first. Let me write the question. Distance 8 centimeters and 24 centimeters for my convex lens. Magnitude of magnification is same. Find focal length. Right. That is the question and this is the answer. Right. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next one. Let me write the question first. So here this is based on moment of inertia. So he gave you a disc which has some two cavities. So he's asking you to find the moment of inertia, which is kind of very straightforward procedure. Right. Once you solve enough questions, it's kind of straightforward procedure. So he gave you one disc, a disc is there, and axis is this along the center. The axis given as A dash is the axis. Now for this disc, he made two cavities. Right, so he put two holes here basically. So we have one hole here of radius r by 4. One hole of radius r by 4 here, and one more hole somewhere here of radius r by 4. And the entire radius of the disc is r. Right, now he's asking you, and he given the mass of the disc. right? The initial mass of the disk before making the hole, right? So initial mass before cutting is m. So let me read the question clearly. The question is this, which is from a uniform disk, from from a uniform disk of radius r and mass m, two small disks of radius r by 4, r by 4 is cut. Find moment of inertia, right? So kind of straightforward question. So here initial mass of the disk before cutting is m. So it has a mass of m initially. And from this you cut two parts. So cavities. So the cavity procedure is kind of straightforward, which is whenever you have a cavity, what you have to do. So imagine it's like an overlap of positive and negative mass. The positive mass and negative mass overlap becomes cavity. Positive plus negative becomes zero. Right. So I'll imagine this, that entire disk is there. An entire disk of mass m is there. On top of that, you overlap the negative mass of both of them. Right. Now for the radius of r, the mass is m. Right. Now if the radius is r by 4, mass becomes what? Right. We know m is proportional to r square. So we can write m proportional to r square. We have more area, more mass. So if radius became r by 4, what happened to mass? So for a radius of r, mass is m. For radius of r by 4, mass becomes square of this. Square of this becomes m by 16. Right? If radius became 1 by 4 times, mass has to become 1 by 16 times. Now why am I doing this is, we have to assume that entire disk of mass m is there. On top of that, two small disks of mass m by 16, m by 16. But negative mass are on top of this positive mass. That becomes cavity. Now what is moment of inertia? I is equal to, for the entire disk, the moment of inertia is mr square by 2, that we know already, is mr square by 2 plus moment of inertia of these two disks. Now how do you find moment of inertia of each disk? I'll find first. For each disk, for each small disk, I want to find moment of inertia not about center, about this axis. For each disk, about AA dash. About AA dash you have to find. How do you find that? So moment of inertia about this axis is, if I have to find the moment of inertia about this axis, first I have to find for center of mass. So it's nothing but I is equal to I center of mass plus md square. I center of mass plus md square. That's the formula you have to use. So what is I center of mass for this? Is for this disk about center of mass mr square by 2. What is the mass of this? Is m by 16. So mass of this is m by 16 minus m by 16 right, into radius of this is r by 4 into r by 4 whole square divided by 2, mr square by 2, m r square by 2 plus md square. Again mass is what? Mass is negative mass, minus m by 16 into d square. What is d here? D is the distance between center of mass of this and this axis. So this thing is r by 4. So entire thing is r. So what will this be? So r minus r by 4, 3r by 4. So m into 3r by 4 whole square. Right. So let me do it here. So this becomes I is equal to, so that becomes 1 by 4 whole square 16. 16 is 256 into 2. I'll just keep it like this. So it becomes minus m by 256 into 2 into r square. Right. For each small disk. Let me continue here. Right. Next, what you have this is 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. So 16 becomes 256. So this becomes minus 9 mr square by 256. That's for each disk. For each disk is this. There are two disks are there. So multiply by 2. For both disks, so multiply by 2. I'll get this as 2 2 gone. Here will be 18. So 18 and this will be 1. So it becomes minus, this becomes mr square by 256 minus 18 mr square by 256 becomes minus 19 mr square by 256. Then the moment of inertia of both negative mass disks. Now to add it with the entire disk, right? So if I write the entire moment of inertia, I is equal to, we can write, for this disk it is mr square by 2 minus both the negative mass. If I take both the negative mass, will be how much? Minus 19 by mr square by 256, right? So if I take the LCM here, is 256, right? So it will be 120, the LCM is 128 here, 128 mr square minus 19 mr square. So this becomes, so if you subtract these two, I'll get this as 109 mr square divided by 256. That's the moment of inertia, right? Just the procedure. If you know the procedure, it's kind of straightforward, right? So now Max sir will come, Ayush sir will be here, and he'll be discussing the Max paper, right? We'll be alternating like this. So after that, again chemistry ma'am will come, again I'll come. So we'll complete the entire paper alternatingly.
Pen. So, huh? Huh. So very good evening to all the students. I hope you find the paper little bit easy compared to the morning shift. So right now the question which I have received, according to that I'm saying, the paper is easy to moderate level. Two questions I found little bit lengthier in calculation part. So let's discuss the question which I have received till now. Okay. So first question is from trigonometry. The minimum value of cos squared theta plus 6 sin theta cos theta plus 3 sin square theta plus 3. So they have not given any range for the angle. So here you have to do either by manipulating this expression. So we already have learned the concept. Based on this, we have done the question in the function chapter, how to calculate the range of trigonometric function, and even in trigonometry. So the concept that is going to be used here is, we know the range of a cos theta plus b sin theta. It lies from minus root over a square plus b square and lesser than equal to root over a square plus b square, if nothing they have mentioned about the angle theta. So let's see how we can convert this. So little bit of manipulation is required in this. So initially I cannot make it a perfect square, as you can see. So what I'm doing, I'm observing this expression. So this is expression which is creating a problem. So here I'm going to write 6 sin theta cos theta can be written as 3 into 2 sin theta cos theta, which in turn can be written as 3 times sin 2 theta. Correct? Now I've got the expression in sin 2 theta where the angle is 2 theta. Now the idea of solving is to convert again, to manipulate this in such a way so that I get cos 2 theta. So I think already all of you know how to convert cos square theta into cos 2 theta and sin square theta. But here we can do it lot faster. Cos square theta plus 3 sin square theta can be written as, see, cos square theta plus 3 sin square theta can be written as sin square theta plus 2 sin square theta plus 3. Now cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So from here 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 3 sin 2 theta, and 2 sin square theta is 1 minus cos 2 theta. Okay, so here I've got final expression as 5 plus 3 sine 2 theta minus cos 2 theta. So just the care which you have to take while solving this question is the angle must be same. Then only you can use the formula. Here I made the angle same 2 theta 2 theta. So directly I can use the formula. They are asking the minimum value. So minimum, for minimum we have to take minus root over a square plus b square. So if I compare with that, a is my 3, I can take b is minus 1. So the minimum value is 5 minus root over a square plus b square, which is going to be 5 minus root over 10 after substitution. So this is the final answer for this particular question. I hope you have understood the question. I will rate not very tough, but you must know how to manipulate, and this is a very doable question. Everyone, I think every teacher will discuss this in the classroom, how to find the range of trigonometric function. Okay, let's go to the next question. So next question is a PNC permutation and combinations. Again, question is very easy. So number of ways to distribute number of ways to distribute 6 identical oranges among 4 persons such that each gets at least one orange. At least one orange. Okay, so how we will tackle this question? Let's see. So, so this question is based on the method of fictitious partition. So here, when to use this method? When items are identical, right? So the items which we have to distribute, so we place like this, considering them as identical. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 identical oranges, and we have to distribute this among, I think, just 1 minute, among how many persons? Among 4 persons, you know, among 4 persons. So 4% means I will create 4 lines. Let's say like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. But here they have given one more twist. It should be at least one orange. Each person should receive at least one orange, minimum one orange. So here, in how many ways I can place this 4 lines? है ना? 4, I think 4 है, so 3 lines we have to use, right? One line I will remove. So suppose if I place my lines like this, it means first person is receiving one orange, second person is receiving 2 orange, third is 1, again 2. So here at least 1 means I cannot place my lines like this. So what does it mean? What does it mean? It means first person is getting 0 object, second person 2 object, third person 3 object, fourth person is 1 object. But we cannot take this case, right? So I think direct formula is there for this. So let me write down first formula. Suppose there are n identical object, and we have to distribute among, suppose, r person, right? Such that each person receive at least one orange. Then the formula is straightforward: n minus 1 c r minus 1, right? But if suppose they have not given this condition, means any person can receive any number of oranges, then we could have condition like this. In this case, the formula will become n plus r minus 1 c r minus 1, right? And we approach this method for solving a number of integral solution also. I think every student will be well aware of this. This is also called as Beggar method, है ना? So this is a formula that we are going to apply. So n is how much? 6, 6 minus 1, 5, 4 minus 1. Sorry, CR minus 1. C4 minus 1. So final answer is 5C3, which is going to be 5 into 4 by 2 factorial. So which is 20 by 2, which is equal to which is equal to 10. So answer is 10 for this particular question. Again, very easy question. So let's move to the next question. So again, this question is coordinate geometry. So it is given ellipse x squared by 2 plus y squared upon 1 is equal to 1. Line y equal to y minus x is equal to 1 intersects at 2 points. Intersects at 2 points A and B. Find the angle subtended. Find the angle subtended by points A and B at center of the ellipse. At center of the ellipse, right? We have seen a similar type of question in other shifts, right? But I found that question was little bit more tougher compared to this. So this is again a memory based question. I don't think so they will give such easy question, but still let's see if this is the question, then how do we tackle it. So first, so this type of question, it's better to solve by plotting them in the graph paper. So if I want to plot the graph of the ellipse, right? So I think everyone knows this is x square upon a square plus y square upon b square. So if I compare x square by a square plus y square upon b square equal to 1, so we already know there will be two cases when a is greater than b and when a is lesser than b. So in this question, you can observe a is greater than b. So when a is greater than b, the ellipse is going to be horizontal ellipse. So let's plot the diagram. So this is a diagram for this particular question. So if you look at the intersection point, it is going to cut x-axis at the point minus root 2 comma 0, at the point minus root 2 comma 0 and root 2 comma 0. And this point is, if I put x is 0, y will be plus 1 and minus 1. So these points are 0 comma 1 and 0 comma minus 1. So when you write on the coordinates, it will be easier for you to plot, and then you can see graphically how we are getting this diagram and how the diagram will look like. So when this line is intersecting ellipse at 2 points A and B, right? So let us not find the intersection point. That is what is important in this case. If students try to directly substitute y equal to x plus 1 in this expression and then try to find point of intersection, so they might do these questions taking a lot of time, which is not required actually, right? So that's why this question is little bit tricky. This question is actually very straightforward. So how do we, so just plot this straight line in the graph paper. How do we do that? By taking x is equal to 0 and then taking y equal to 0. So if I take x is equal to 0, if I put x is equal to 0 in this expression, the value of y is 1. So 0 comma 1 is the point. And next point is, if I put y equal to 0, then x is equal to minus 1. So next point is minus 1 comma 0. So the diagram will look like this. So this is going to be the diagram. Now they are asking, so let's consider these 2 points as A and B, right? Let's say this is point A, this is point B. Now they are asking the angle subtended by the points A and B at the center of the ellipse. I think you have to understand the key word is here, angle subtended. So angle can be subtended only by the line segment, not the line. So AB means it is a line segment. So where we have to subtend the angle at the center, so we connect these 2 points at the center and we can easily see from the diagram, this is 90 degree. So answer is pi by 2 for this particular question. So again, let's move to the next question. So next question is area. So this question is area under curve. Area in square units. Area in square units between the curves. Between the curves x squared plus y squared equal to 4 and x squared plus y minus 2 whole squared is equal to 4 is what? So area bounded by the curve between these two है ना curves. So again you have to plot the diagram very carefully. So whenever we see the equation of the circle, the first thing that we do is to find the center and the radius, right? So what is the center of the circle? Center is going to be 0 comma 0 and radius is going to be 2, and here center is going to be 0 comma 2 and the radius is going to be again 2 unit. So both the circles have the same radius. So I think if you observe carefully, so first circle is very simple, that is x square plus y square equal to 4. Center is 0 comma 0 and this point is going to be, when you put y equal to 0 you will get 2 comma 0 and minus 2 comma 0. And when you are going to plot this graph है ना, so you have to be careful. So here radius is 2 unit. When you will put I think y equal to 0, x is 0, so the diagram is going to be like this, right, for this particular circle, right? This is going to be the diagram है ना. So easily you can see from the graph how I am plotting this. When I will put x is equal to 0, I am getting y minus 2 whole square equal to 4. So y minus 2 is equal to plus minus 2. So y will be equal to 2 plus 2 4 comma minus 2 plus 2 is 0. So these are the points of intersection 0 comma 4 and this is going to be 0 comma 0, right? This is how I have drawn the diagram. So it is touching the x-axis at the center, right? Now we have to find this area bounded between these two curves, that is this region, right? For that, I think all of you have observed this graph is symmetrical about my y-axis, है ना? So just I need to calculate this. Let's mark this area. So this area bounded I will calculate and then double it. So for that you need to find the point of intersection. So I think first, whenever you are dealing with area under curve question, it's very important to identify whether you are going to integrate along y-axis or x-axis. So here, by looking at the diagram, it is very easy to say we are going to integrate along x-axis. For this, we have to find this point of intersection, right? So which curve is above, you need to see. So this area is going to be, let's say this is curve 1 and let's say this is curve 2. So it is going to be curve 1 minus curve 2, right, into dx. So we will integrate with respect to x, है ना? And x is lying from 0 to some intersection point that we need to find. Now how to find the intersection point? It's very simple, right? So just observe here. So I think x square if you put as 4 minus y square, 4 minus y square plus y minus 2 whole square equal to 4, and you expand this 4 minus y square plus y square minus 4y plus 4 equal to 4. So this is going to be cancelled out, this is cancelled out. So 4y equal to 4. So y is going to be 1. Now this is the line y equal to 1. So we are getting only one value. It means for two particular x we have the same y. So this is the line y equal to 1, and for that corresponding value of x you need to find. So when I will put y equal to 1 in this expression, you will get x square equal to 3. So x is going to be plus minus root 3. So this point is root 3 comma 1. So x is root 3. So integration is going to be 0 to root 3. Now you are doing with respect to x. So y you need to express. From here, y square can be expressed as 4 minus x square. So y is going to be root over 4 minus x square. Similarly, if you do for the second curve, you can easily find 0 to root 3. So this is going to be root over 4 minus x square. And for the second curve, it is going to be, again, this is my curve 2, है ना? Curve 2. Actually, this is should be curve 2 minus curve 1. I have written wrong. This is curve 2 minus curve 1. So this is going to be my curve 2, which is root over 4 minus x square, and curve 1 is going to be 2 minus root over 4 minus x square. If you do the calculation, you will understand. So now we have to simply integrate this expression. Again, they have asked based on this formula several times. So if you just see here, you do not have to segregate and then do the integration. You can see this we can add. So it is integration 0 to root 3, 2 times root over 4 minus x square, and this is minus 2 into dx, right? Now let's segregate the integral. So it is integral 0 to root 3, 2 times root over 4 minus x square dx minus 2 times integral dx 0 to root 3. So just by observing, we can say this is root over a square minus x square. So first write down a. My a is 2. So I know for this particular question the formula is little bit lengthier, trickier. Many students forget this formula, but I think it is a very standard integral which every student must know. So what is the formula for this? 2 times bracket x by 2 है ना root over 4 square minus x square as it is, plus है ना, it is not minus, plus a square by 2 which is 4 by 2 sine inverse x by a, that is sine inverse x by 2, and integral is running from 0 to root 3. अच्छा, directly I will do the integration. Let me not segregate this, है ना. So this is sine inverse x by a, है ना, which is 2 minus 2x, and integral is running from 0 to root 3. So if you, I think, lower value, if you put the lower limit, the entire term is going to vanish. So directly I'm going to put the higher value. I think 2 I can take common, so it is going to cancel out from this, or directly you substitute. So I'm getting 2 times root 3 by 2 root over 4 minus root 3 whole square, plus 2 times sine inverse root 3 by 2 minus 2 times root 3, and lower limit I am not writing since it is going to vanish. So here 4 minus 3 is 1. So finally I'm getting my answer as 2 times root 3 by 2 plus 2 into sine inverse root 3 by 2 is pi by 3 minus 2 root 3. So final answer is, I think, 2 to cancel. So root 3, this is minus 4 root 3. So this is 2 into 2, 4, pi by 3. Clear? A square by 2 sine inverse x by 2. So I think 2 to cancel, 4. Okay. So finally I'm getting 4 pi by 3 minus 3 root 3 as the answer. Correct? Just let me check once. Root 3 minus 4 root 3. 4 root 3 plus 4 pi by 3. So 4 pi by 3 minus 3 root 3 is the answer I'm getting. Just plus a square by 2. Okay, this is going to be the final answer, right? Okay, so let's proceed for the next question. Just a question last. So now I'm going to hand it over to chemistry ma'am. So she's going to discuss further, and in the meanwhile I will come back again and discuss the question which is left, right? So ma'am.
Okay, guys, so I got some few more chemistry questions, and one thing which I have done, I I have done this so that you guys will write in comments and will tell me that this is wrong, but nobody has told, so I am back again to tell you. So let's come back here. So this is the structure which I have made, and I was expecting that some of you will be right in the comment that this structure seems to form with a different way. Okay, so just see here. Very good question and little trap. I thought you guys will catch it very fast, but anyways, you guys must have heard about the Bent's rule. Bent rule. Okay, so what is Bent's rule? We know that in this type of structure where we have equatorial and axial position, the most electronegative element goes to what position? This axial positions, right? This En electronegative element, this electronegative element should go on equatorial position, correct? So according to this, the structure of this should be like this, correct? So O should have taken this, just a second, like this. Wait. Xenon, F, and F. For sure, fluorine will be taking the axial position, and one double bond O and double bond O and lone pair will come here, right? If you will draw this structure, if you will draw this structure, so you guys will get this, then this option will also become correct. Fine. And in the exam, they always do like this, then whatever the students expect the answer to be correct, they give that answer, they give that option also in the question, right? So same way they have given this option also. Fine. So if you will draw it like this, then the angle will not come 180 degree. But if you will draw it this way, which is the correct way according to the Bend's rule, then the angle between xenon F and xenon will come out as 180 degree approx. This one. This is the planar. एक second. This is the plane. This is the plane, right? And the up, axial and down, right? The angle has to be 180 degree. So now the answer is A, B and C. All three are correct. So the correct answer is C here. Okay. If earlier I have told you B, I thought you, some of you, any of many like some of you will point it out, but nobody has done it. So the correct answer is C. Fine. Okay. Now let's come back to this. I have told this. Now I got the options of it. This was, I thought it is a integer type question, but I got options for it. So this seems easy. We do not need to do the whole calculation. We can simply mark the answer. So let me just write the options here, and just a second. The options of this question is this. So the options are, if you have the options, then you can choose the nearest one. You do not need to solve the whole, you do not need to solve it completely. So the option is 37.57, okay, and 87.65, and it is 34.79, and the last one is 53.58%. As you can see, there is much difference. There's a large difference, quite difference is there in the options, correct? So no need to do the exact calculation. You can do approx also to save your time. Okay, so when I have done the calculation, my answer was coming near to 55 something. So it means that correct answer is D. So the good part is they have not given very close options. They have given like quite gap is there. Okay, so now I got some few more questions. I will be discussing the next one. Okay, so the question here is, okay, fine. So sir, math sir will come, and I will be back again with some more questions if I'll get more then.
Okay. So I think in this question, just you have to double the area. Just take care of that. I think I have done slight mistake here. So this will come as root 3 minus 2 root 3 and double it. So you will get 8 pi by 3 minus 2 root 3 as the answer. है ना? 8 pi by 3 minus 2 root 3 as the answer. Correct? So you have to double this area. Right? Just take care of that. Okay. Now let's see some more questions. So again, this question came from sequence and series chapter. So I will read this question again, very easy question, right? So let's see what is the question. If summation k equal to 1 till n ak is equal to alpha n square plus beta n, and it is given that the value of a10 is 59, the value of a6 is 79, I think 79. So what is the value of alpha plus beta? So I think all of you must know this concept without expanding the series. If you start expanding it, then you will get into trouble, right? So sum of this series, if you expand the left hand side, you will get as a1 plus a2 plus a3 till an, and this is given as alpha n square plus beta n. I think everyone must know this concept that sum of n terms of any series, it is a quadratic in n, where constant term is not present. So it must be, if Sn is of the form an square plus bn, then that sequence must represent arithmetic progression. So directly I will use, let's say, a1 as a and the common difference of this ap as d, है ना? So according to the question they have given, a plus 9d equal to 59 and a plus 5d equal to 79. So if I subtract, you will get 4d equal to minus 20, right? So finally d will come out as minus 5, right? So how to find again sum of n terms of AP is given. So again a is what, putting the value of d equal to here minus 5, so you'll get minus 45 equal to 59. So a will come out as 59 plus 45, which is 410, 104, 104. So now you can use this formula directly, n by 2 first term plus last term, है ना? I think n by 2 first term is 104 plus last term is going to be 104 plus n minus 1 into common difference is going to be minus 5. So to calculate this value, n by 2, 208 minus 5n plus 5. So this is going to be n by 2, 213 minus 5n, right? So multiply this, you will get 213 by 2 into n minus 5 by 2 into n square. Now if I compare this term, alpha is going to be, alpha is a coefficient of n square, so alpha is going to be minus 5 by 2, and my beta is going to be coefficient of n, which is 213 by 2. So I think now you can substitute the value, you will get the correct answer. So again, let's move to the next question. So this question again came from permutation and combination chapter. So let there are two bags, let there are two bags, okay, A and B, right? So I will write down the question in short. Bag A, they have given, bag A contains 9 white and 8 black balls, 8 black balls, and second bag, that is bag B, contains, bag B contains 6 white and 4 black balls. Okay. From a bag B, now question is, from a bag B, a ball is randomly selected. From this bag B, a ball is randomly selected, and put into the bag A, right? Now a ball is randomly selected from bag A if the probability that the selected ball is white is given as P by Q, where GCD of P comma Q is given as 1. So they are co-prime to each other, these numbers. Now again, I will just restructure my question once again. So first, you need to understand this question is based on which concept. Now first, we are drawing a ball from the bag B, and then I'm transferring the drawn ball from the bag B to the bag A, and then I'm drawing a ball from the bag A. So if this condition would not have been given, what is the probability of drawing a white ball? See, the direct answer is 9 by 17, but this is not the case. So first I am drawing a ball from bag A. So let's consider this even. Even is drawing a ball from drawing a white ball from bag B, and let's say E2 is the event drawing a black ball from bag B. So from bag B only, I am drawing a white ball and a black ball, right? And then E I am considering as event of drawing a white ball from bag A, from bag A. So I think all of you have understood this question is based on conditional probability. So how we are going to find the probability? So the required probability is going to be so first I am drawing, the first event is drawing a ball from the bag B, and after that I am drawing a ball from the bag A. So it means so event, let's mark this as event, probability of drawing a white ball from bag B. And after that, so we know that conditional probability, what is the condition? For both the events to happen together, P of A intersection B is given by P of A multiplied by P of B by A. What does it means? First event A has occurred, and after that event B is taking place. So first I'm drawing a white ball from the bag B, and then after that I'm drawing a white ball from bag A, given that already I have drawn a white ball from the bag B. So what is the probability of drawing a white ball from bag B? This is going to be 6 by 10, and after drawing I am putting in this bag A. So since I have drawn the white ball, now the white ball is going to be 10 in number, and total will be 18. So probability of drawing a white ball now is going to be 10 by 18, right? I hope all of you have understood. Plus probability of E2, because they have not mentioned which ball you are transferring, whether a white ball or black ball, so you have to consider both the cases. So probability of E2 multiplied by probability of E upon E2. It means then what is the probability of drawing a black ball? That is 4 by 10 multiplied by P of E upon E2, that is drawing a white ball given that black ball has been transferred. Again, now the white ball is same, that is 9, and total ball again will become 18. So final answer is going to be 1 by 3 is going to be 1 by 3 plus 9 2 2 1 by 5. So 1 by 3 plus 1 by 5 is 8 by 15 is the answer, right? Now let's see the next question. So I think 8 by 15 there is no common factor, so I think they are asking to find P plus Q. Since 8 and 15 are co-prime numbers, so answer is going to be 8 plus 15, which is 23, right? Easy question. Now this question again has come from the relation chapter. I think every student must be aware of this, that every year this particular chapter, relation and function, especially relation, one question is fixed, and we have seen in all the shifts the question is coming from this particular chapter, that is relation chapter. Excuse me. And we have seen the questions are pretty easy, you know, compared to the last year. So let's see this question. So let A equal to, set A has been given as 1 2 3, till 9 and x is related to y. If and only if x is related to y, if and only if x minus y is a multiple of 3, is a multiple of 3. Now they have given two statements. Statement 1 is given as number of elements in R, in relation R is 36, and statement 2 they have given R is equivalence relation, right? So let's see this question. Now since they have mentioned x minus y is a multiple of 3, x minus y is a multiple of 3, I think now you have understood any number, any natural number can be divided into 3 segments. That is, if you want to write in terms of 2, it is going to be 2k or 2k plus 1. I think already you have learned in class 10 Euclid's division lemma. So multiple, any natural number can be written as, can be divided into 3 segments, multiple of 3, 3k plus 1 or 3k plus 2. So in this case we want this to be a multiple of 3. It means, so if x is 3k, then y cannot be 3k plus 1, then you will not get a multiple of 3. So if x is a number of the form 3k, then y also has to be of the form 3k2, then I will get a multiple of 3. If you take 3 common, so 3 times some integer is a multiple of 3. Or if I am considering x is 3k plus 1, 3 times k1 plus 1, 3k1 plus 1, right? Then again you can observe y cannot be 3k1 or 3k plus 2. In that case we will again not get a multiple of 3, so it must be 3k 2 plus 1. Again 1 and 1 will cancel out, again we will get a multiple of 3. And the third case that we are going to consider is 3k1 plus 2 minus 3k2 plus 2, again we will get a multiple of 3. So if you start solving this question by taking the cases, it will take a lot of time, so you have to use some logic to solve this question a little bit faster. So now you can easily see there are 9 elements in the set A, and it is a relation from A to A. We have to choose the elements from the A only, from the set A. So what are the multiples of 3 present in the set A? That is going to be, for the first case, case number 1, it is going to be 3, 6, 9. Now again, y can also take the values 3, 6, 9. And when I'm going to find a relation, right, means all the subsets we have to consider. So I think 3 comma 3, right, just I'm writing one element, 3 comma 3, 3 comma 6, 3 comma 9. Next is going to be 6 comma 3, है ना, 6 comma 6, 6 comma 9. And next is 9 comma 3, 9 comma 6 and 9 comma 9. So how many elements are there? You can see there are 3 elements, and here also 3 elements. So again you should not write down all the cases, that is the important point. Here you have to use again some logic to arrive at the answer. So 3 elements, 3 elements, so total number of elements is going to be 9, so which already I have written. And if you carefully observe, right, for 3k plus 1 type, again what are the 3k plus 1 type numbers? If you put k equal to 0, you will get 1. If you put k equal to, if you put k1 equal to 1, you will get 4. And if you put k1 equal to 2, again you will get 7. So which I cannot go beyond this number because it is restricted till 9. So again for a, for x 147, for y also 147, again you will get 3 into 3, which is 9 for the second case. And in a similar way, if you observe, for third case also it is going to be 3 cross 3, that is 9 cases. So total, I think if you count, there are 27 cases you are going to get, or 27 elements are present in relation R. So this option is going to be wrong. Now they are mentioning, check whether this is an equivalence relation or not. We know that the relation is going to be equivalence when it is satisfying all the 3 conditions. That is, it should be transitive, it should be reflexive, it should be symmetric. I think symmetric मतलब सबको पता है a comma b is the, if it is a element in relation, then b comma a should also be in the relation, then only we can say the relation is symmetric. Reflexive means I think a comma a should be present in the element, and if a is present, a comma b, a comma a should also be present. Transitive means if a comma b is present and b comma c is present, then a comma c should also present. I think if you observe carefully, see all the elements are present. If you carefully observe these elements, then it is satisfying all these three conditions: transitive, reflexive, and symmetric. So correct answer is statement 2 is correct. So statement 1 is wrong, right? Okay, now I'm going to hand it over to uh, Naveen sir. So he's going to take up more questions in physics, and then again I will continue. Okay.
Yes, hello everyone, welcome back to physics. So now we are going to discuss a few more questions from physics. Just now we received them. So the first one is from capacitors. The first one is from capacitors. So the question is this: a parallel plate capacitor with plate separation 5 millimeter. So we have a parallel plate capacitor whose separation of plates is given as 5 millimeters. Right. So is charged by a battery on introducing a mica sheet of 2 millimeters thickness and maintaining the connection to the plates with the terminals of the battery. Means what he's saying is we have connected the battery. Battery is connected here. And we maintain the connection and then put a dielectric. The dielectric is not completely filling. So what he's saying is dielectric is partially filling. So we take a dielectric which is partially filling. So length is nothing but he gave it 2 mm. Right. Now he's saying that as soon as you place this here, the battery is giving extra charge. How much extra charge? It is found that it draws 25% more charge from the battery. So if I connect this, now it is charging extra, right? Getting extra charge of 25%. Now from this data, you have to find the electric constant of the material. Now what we need to find is what happens to capacitance you have to find. Initial capacitance is C, then what will happen to capacitance, new capacitance. Right, so initially we have, suppose a charge Q went here. Q and minus Q. Q and minus Q. Right, now when you put the dielectric, the charge has increased. So what is Q dash? He said Q dash is 25% more than Q. So Q dash is Q plus 25 by 100 into Q. So Q dash is Q plus Q by 4, 5Q by 4. So charge has become 5 by 4 times. So what happens to capacitance? So we know C is equal to what? Q is equal to CV. Q is equal to CV. In this case, V is constant. So if V is constant, we can write Q dash equal to C into V dash. Okay. C dash into V. So which implies what we can write? Q dash by Q is equal to C dash by C. If I do this, I'll get C dash as what? 5 by 4 times of C. Obviously, if Q is increasing by 5 by 4 times, C also has to increase by 5 by 4 times, right? Now, C became 5 by 4 times by introducing a dielectric. So what is the formula for this? Now in this case, dielectric is partially filled, not completely filled. So if it is partially filled, then what is formula for capacitance? Epsilon naught A divided by, right? So you have to see the thickness, how much thickness it is there? Only T. So remaining part is what? The entire thickness is T for this. The entire distance is D. The formula is D minus T is with air plus E by K. Right? Dielectric partially field. It's a common formula. Right? So if I apply this, in this case, D is 5 and T is 2. D is 5 and T is 2. So C dash, in this case, C dash is 5 by 4C. So C dash is 5 by 4C is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D is 5. I'm not converting units here. The units are in millimeters. No need to convert this because we are comparing them. We are comparing two of them. So we need to convert units. So 5 minus T is 2 plus 2 by K. What is the C now? C is the capacitance without dielectric. Without dielectric, the capacitance is 5 by 4 epsilon naught A by D. What is D? D is 5. Is equal to epsilon naught A divided by 5 minus 2 is 3 plus 2 by K. Compare them. Right, so you're not counting units here. So compare them, cancel them. So 5 gets cancelled. Sorry. So 5 gets cancelled. So directly we can say 3 plus 2 by K has to be 4. So we can say 2 by K has to be 1. So K is equal to 2. Relative constant is 2. Right. It's a moderate question, not difficult, not easy. Moderate question. Next, moving on. The next one. So metallic sphere of diameter 2 millimeters and density 10.5 gram per centimeter cube is dropped in a glycerin having viscosity 10 poise and density 1.5 gram per centimeter cube. The terminal velocity attained by the sphere is. So he's asking terminal velocity. All the data is given to you. So he's asking you to find terminal velocity, which is kind of straightforward question this is. Just the formula base. So write the formula. So Vt is equal to, terminal velocity formula is what? 2 by 9 a square into rho s minus rho l into g divided by eta. Right? That's the formula for terminal velocity. So all the data is given to you. The data given is a diameter is given as diameter is 2 mm. Means what is radius? A will be 1 mm. 1 mm means 10 power minus 3 meters. Right? Next, what is given to you? Density of solid is 10.5. Density of liquid is 1.5. So density of solid is 10.5 gram per cc. Right? And density of liquid is 1.5 gram per cc. And then what is given? Viscosity is 10 poise. So you have to convert the poise. Poise is not SI unit. So 10 poise, which will be 1. Right? Every 10 poise will be equal to what? 1. While magnitude is 1. So if I write this, and then we have, enough data we have. So we have to find the terminal velocity for this. So write this formula, 2 by 9 into, what is A square? A is 10 power minus 3. So 10 power minus 3 whole square is 10 power minus 6. Into rho s minus rho l. Rho s minus rho l, if I subtract them, 10.5 minus 1.5 will become 9. So 9 into, now the thing is, it is gram per cc, convert into kg per meter cube. So multiply by 10 power 3 into g is 10 divided by eta. Eta is 1. So simple calculation, 9 gets cancelled. So it becomes what? 10 power 4, 10 power minus 2. So it becomes 2 into 10 power minus 2 meter per second. The question they asked in centimeter per second. So it's nothing but 2 centimeter per second. Right. So kind of easy question. If you know the formula, just apply the data and solve the question. That's it. It's straightforward. Right. This is easy. Next. Next question is on optics. Right. A prism of angle 75 and refractive index root 3 is coated with thin film of refractive index 1.5 only at the back exit surface. So what he's saying is we have a prism. Something like this. We have a prism whose angle of prism A is given as 75. Now for the prism, there is one surface where light is going to come, one surface where light is going to go outside. So he's saying that exit surface, suppose if I take this as exit surface, is coated with a thin film of refractive index 1.5. So what he's saying is this material refractive index is root 3, and for the exit surface, we are coating with some other material whose refractive index is 1.5. So I might put a material here whose refractive index is mu is equal to 1.5. Now he's asking you, the question is this, right? The incident angle must be, he's saying that if a TR has to happen at this surface, total internal reflection has to happen at this surface, what should be the angle of incidence, right? So how do you find this is, first let us find for TR to happen, what is the condition? The condition is the angle of incidence at this surface has to be more than critical angle. It has to be more than critical angle, right? So along with that, one more thing is given in the question. Data is given, which is sine 15 is given as 0.25. Sine 25 is given as 0.43. So the data given to you. So let's use the data and then try to solve this. So for TR to happen, so at this point, I want to find what is critical angle. So for this interface, what is critical angle? So we can write critical angle will be sine inverse of mu2 by mu1, right? It is sine inverse of the medium you are going later, which is 1.5 divided by the medium you are in already, which is root 3. So nothing but 1.5 divided by root 3. So 1.5 is nothing but 3 by 2. 3 by 2 into root 3. So root 3 gets cancelled. It becomes sine inverse of root 3 by 2, which is nothing but 60 degrees. So critical angle we got 60 degrees, right? So angle of incidence at this surface has to be 60 degrees. Now if you remember that prism diagram, the common diagram that we draw for the prism, which is this, right? If I take a light ray which is incident here, something like this, something like this. Normal diagram will be like this, right? So in this is not going to come out, but general formula is what? You'll take two angle of refraction here, R1 and R2. What we know, R1 plus R2 has to be angle of prism, which is 75. R1 plus R2 has to be 75. So what we found out is that this R2 has to be at least 60. R2 has to be at least 60. So I'll take the boundary condition, take it as 60. Suppose R2 is 60. If R2 is 60, what is R1 then? So we can write R1 plus R2 has to be 60. Okay. R2 is 60. R1 plus R2 has to be angle of the prism, which is 75. So R1 plus R2 is 60, has to be 75. So R1 has to be 15 degrees centigrade. Right. So for it to be 60, this has to be 15. But the logic is this has to be more than 16. Right. So this has to be less than 15. I'm taking a boundary condition here. Let me take the boundary condition. Let me take it as 15. So for this 15, what is the angle of incidence he's asking? He's asking you this angle. Now we need to apply Snell's law. We know this angle, you have to find this angle. So your refractive index is root 3. Here it is air, which is 1. So apply Snell's law, we get 1 into sine I has to be root 3 into sine of r. What is r here? Sine of 15. So for you the data is given already. Sine 15 is 0.25. So root 3 is 1.73 into sine 15 is 1 by 4. That's what is given to you. Apply this, I'll get this as basically 0.43. So all the data that is given to you is useful. So if you use the data, directly get the answer. So what we got is sine I is 0.43. So sine I is 0.43, sine 25 is 0.43. So I is what? 25. Now come back to this question. If this has to be 60, this has to be 15 and this has to be 25. But the condition is what? This angle has to be more than 60. For it to be more than 60, this has to be less than 15. If this is less, this also has to be less. I and R are proportional to each other. So answer has to be, the angle of incidence has to be less than 25. Right? It's a moderate question, not difficult, not easy, a moderate question. Right? Next question is most easiest question that I could ask you in JEE mains. It's not even JEE level, not even KSET level. It's a very easy question, straightforward question. So which is this? So what they asked you is this. You have an inclined plane, angle of inclination is theta. He said, you throw an object with a velocity of u, what distance it will go along the inclined plane, right? Find the distance covered before stopping. How much distance it will go before stopping? Stopping distance. Stopping distance formula directly if you apply. What is stopping distance? S is equal to u square by 2a. So a is what? Deceleration. So what deceleration of the block? So for this block, deceleration is g sin theta. That's it. So what stopping distance will be? U square by 2 into a is g sin theta. Most easiest question, right? Next, next one is from magnetism. So which is, we have three current carrying wires. We have three current carrying wires forming equilateral triangle, and current is 2A, 2 amperes, 2 amperes, 2 amperes, 2 amperes. Now the question is asking you what is the magnetic field at the center, centroid basically. So for this, we need to find what is the magnetic field due to a finite wire. The formula for a magnetic field due to a finite wire. So if you know the formula looks like this. Suppose you have a finite wire, right? You have a point P here. I want to find the magnetic field at point P. Right, so first you have to look at the point P. So that there are two things you have to find, which is distance and angle. So when you look at the angle of this, so suppose this is theta 1 and suppose this is theta 2. So this is theta 1, this is theta 2. So in this case, what is the value of field? So field is B is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi d or 4 pi r. 4 pi r, distance is r, into sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. This is the formula. Right, once you know the formula, it's kind of straightforward. Now come back to this. Now we have, first before going further to any calculation, first look at this. The field produced by this, in what direction? Apply right hand curl rule. If I hold the wire, extend this and curl it, the field is outwards. Because this wire also is outwards. Because this wire also is outwards. So all the fields are outward direction. Right? So we can add all the fields. So what we need to do is find the field due to one wire and multiply by 3. Multiply by 3. Now for each wire, if I see, for each wire, so for this wire I'll take, I want to find two things. What is R and what is the theta? These two are same angle. Sorry, not this. These two angles. Compare the diagram. So this angle, theta and theta. Now what we know is it's an equilateral triangle. So this thing has to be 30. The entire thing is 60. So this is 30. And this is 90. So what this has to be? 60. This has to be 60. Which means for each side, the angle is 60 and 60. Now apply the formula. So we can write, so B is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into, by the way, what is r? We want to find what is r. R is what? Distance between these two. Distance between center to the side will be what? 1 by third of root 3 by 2a, which is nothing but r is equal to a by 2 root 3. Right, the side length divided by 2 root 3. Now in the question, what is given to you is a value is given to you. Side length is given as 4 root 3. 4 root 3 centimeters. So that's important. 4 root 3 centimeters. So what is r equal to? 4 root 2 by 2 root 3 becomes 2 centimeters. R 2 into 10 power minus 2 meters. So we got the r. So r we know. Theta 1, theta 2 is 60 and 60. Now this application of formula. Right. So mu naught I. By the way, what is I? The current is given as 2 amperes. Current is given as 2 amperes. Mu naught into 2 amperes divided by 4 pi into sine theta 1 is sine 60 plus sine 60. This is for one wire. This is for one wire. We have three wires. All of them producing field in the same direction. So multiply by 3. Multiply by 3. Now just calculate this. So mu naught by 4 pi we know 10 power minus 7 into 2 into sine 60 plus sine 60 is root 3 by 2 plus root 3 by 2. Right. So it becomes root 3 into 3. Right. So this becomes, the value of this is 6 root 3 into 10 power minus 7 Tesla. Right. So which is nothing but, if I continue this, so in terms of mu Tesla, I can write this as 6 root 3. By the way, what is R value? I didn't substitute R value. 1 minute. So what is the value of R? R is 2 into 10 power minus 2. So substitute this 2 into 10 power minus 2. So R gets cancelled, 2 gets cancelled. So 10 power minus 2 go to numerator. So just erase this part. So into root 3 into 3. So into 10 power 2. Right. Now it becomes, I can write this as 3 root 3 into 10 power minus 5 Tesla. But the answer in mu Tesla, so compare it to micro Tesla, so it becomes 30 root 3 into 10 power minus 6 Tesla or 30 root 3 new Tesla. Again kind of application of formula, not a difficult question, right? So this is a kind of easy question, application of formula. This is very easy question, right? Direct formula. And this is a slight moderate question, right? Again, this is easy question, application of formula, right? I hope this is clear, right? Now chemistry ma'am, Prerna ma'am will take over, right? She'll discuss chemistry.
मेरे मेरे को तो okay. So I got some more chemistry questions. So let's solve it. Okay. So the question was okay. The question was what? Let me read out the question. Okay. Okay, so the question was the oxidation state of chromium in the final product named in the reaction between Ki and acidified K2Cr2O7. So I'm just writing here Ki and K2Cr2O7 acidified. It means H plus is there, right? So it is very easy question. We know it is in plus 6. It is present in its maximum oxidation number, and we know that it is a very strong oxidizing agent. It is going to get reduced and it will convert into Cr3 plus. I'm not writing the whole compound name. The options given are, the question was what is the oxidation number of chromium in the product. So option given was plus 2, plus 6, plus 4 and plus 3. So correct answer is plus 3. Okay, now let's move to the next question, which is being asked from biomolecules. And they have asked you that both human DNA and RNA are chiral molecules. So what is the condition for compound to be chiral? It should have four different groups. The chirality in DNA and RNA arises due to presence of what? So basically the question is DNA and RNA is chiral because of what? Okay. So they're asking you reason for chirality in DNA and RNA. So let me draw the structure. Here. This is the compound here. Okay, I'm just drawing roughly. So this is the base, this is the sugar, and which sugar we use? We use beta D ribose, right? And we know that we have how many chiral centers in the ring form? 4 chiral centers. It is HOH, HOH, and this was CH2OH with the phosphate. Fine. So this, and because of what we get the chirality? We get the chirality due to the base. They have given options. The options what they have given is, well, let me write the options quickly. So the options they have given: chiral phosphate unit, and D sugar, and L sugar, and base unit. So phosphate is not chiral. It does not have four different groups. D and L, which sugar? Today only when I was teaching this topic, then that time I have mentioned we take what sugar in it? We take D sugar. So correct answer is D. Base, again, base does not have any chiral center. You know there are two type of bases, pyrimidine and purine, and this is in the cyclic structure. All are the double bond. There is no chiral center. So correct answer for this is D sugar. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Iodoform. The question was iodoform can differentiate. Iodoform test can differentiate whom? Iodoform test can differentiate what? Okay. Fine. So we know iodoform can be given by the compound who has methyl ketone. Iodoform is given by the compound who has methyl ketone, and in terms of alcohol, the only primary alcohol which is ethanol, because we know that because it oxidizes into ethanol, and ethanol has this methyl ketone group. That's why it gives a positive iodoform test. So option number 1 is methanol and ethanol, methanol and ethanol, and this is the only correct answer. Methanol is not going to give you the iodoform test, so this is only the correct answer. We will not, the other options are uh, ethanoic acid and propanoic acid. We know that acids does not give this test. Cyclopropene and cyclobutene, again alkenes, does not give this test. Phenol and benzoic acid, they also don't give the test. So correct answer is methanol and ethanol. Okay, so I have one more question left. We'll discuss this. Okay, fine. Okay, so the question here is, okay, fine. So it is a statement based question. Statement 1: size of O2 minus is smaller than F minus. So let's focus here. O2 minus 10 electron and F minus 10 electron. Both of them are isoelectronic. Both of them are isoelectronic species, and we know in isoelectronic species, the one with more negative charge will have larger size. So they have given that F minus should be large, but actual male, what is the correct thing? The correct thing is F minus should be small and O2 minus should be large. Correct? So this statement is wrong. After this, the second statement is statement number 2. Statement 2 is En of F is more than En of O. Correct? So this is correct. We know that there are three highest electronegative element, fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen. So yes, En of F is more than N. So what is the answer for this? Statement 1 wrong. Statement 2 is correct. So all the questions which I have received, that I have discussed, and I hope it was helpful for you people. So now Master will come and will discuss the rest of the questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I have more two questions with me to discuss. So I will just complete these two questions. Right, the questions which I have right now, I have discussed all the questions. Only two questions are left to be discussed. So let's see these two questions. So question is, this is a question based on matrices and determinant chapter. So if A is equal to, matrix A is given to us, that is 0, -2, 3, 2, 0, 1, -3, -1, 0. And it is given that, and if matrix B multiplied by matrix I minus A is equal to I plus A, where I is identity matrix of same order. Identity matrix of same order. Then they are asking, I think, to find the matrix B. They are asking us to find the matrix B, right? So how we will tackle this question? So matrix B we have to find, and information about matrix A has been given. So matrix A is given to us. So first idea should be to find this matrix. So I will rate this question as a little bit moderate to tough, between moderate to tough, because calculations are involved in this question, and concept is also involved. So I minus A is going to be, if you calculate this I minus A, so I think identity matrix everyone knows. What is it? So it is going to be 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, right? So you do it in mind, I minus A. So 1 minus 0 is 0, 0 minus 2 is minus 2, 0 minus of minus 3 is plus 3. Now 0 minus of minus 2 is 2, 1, and next is 1 again. So 0 minus 3 minus 3 minus 1, 1 minus 0 is 1. So this is going to be my I minus A matrix. Similarly, we'll calculate the matrix I plus A, right? So I think I plus A is going to be 1 plus 0 1, 2 minus 3, 2 minus 3. Next is minus 2 1 minus 1. Next is 3 1, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So this is my matrix I plus A. This is matrix I minus A, and this is matrix I plus A. So first let me write down the matrix B. I minus A is 0, minus 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, minus 3, minus 1, and 1. And I plus A is going to be 1, 2, minus 3, minus 2, 1, minus 1, 3, 1, 1. Now, how to calculate now B, right? It's a very simple idea. So we can use transformation also here, but I think I would prefer instead of doing by transformation method, that also you can do. You can transform this matrix into I, identity matrix, by applying row and column operations. So we change this to I matrix, and this is also going to be changed, and that will give us the corresponding, because B into I, if I convert this into identity matrix, B into I is going to be B, and simultaneously transformation is going to happen here also. So this will give us a required matrix B, but I think that might be challenging for some of the students. So let me discuss one way of approaching this. So let us consider this as a matrix B, P, or suppose anything matrix, like A is given. Let's say this is matrix C, and let us say this is matrix D. So I've considered this as matrix C, and I've considered this as matrix D. So we can transpose C to that side. So C is, I think you have understood. So we have to calculate C inverse into D, correct? Or sorry, this is going to be, so I'm going to post multiply with C inverse both the side, post multiply. So C into C inverse, so let me write it down. B into C inverse is equal to D into C inverse. C into C inverse is I, and this is going to be D into C inverse. So we have to calculate the inverse of the matrix C, and this is where students struggle to find the inverse of the matrix C, and finally we are going to multiply with matrix D, right? So C inverse, what is the formula for the inverse of a matrix? Inverse of a matrix is given by adjoint of the corresponding matrix C divided by determinant of the corresponding matrix, that is determinant of C. Now how to find adjoint of C? So what many students do is they find the cofactors of all the corresponding elements, and then you can do the transpose of that matrix. Transpose of the cofactor matrix is going to give us the adjoint of the matrix, right? So that is one way to find the cofactors of all elements, and then take the transpose of that element. Here you have to take care of the sign and all that. If you do even a single mistake, the entire answer will be wrong. So you have to be very careful while calculating the inverse of the matrix C. So let me just extend this. So okay, let's see this. So how to find adjoint of C? So what is the shortcut to find adjoint of C? So we use the shortcut technique: 0, -2, 3, 2, 1, 1, -3, -1 and 1. So what we do, first we copy row 1, row 2, row 3, and then again we copy the first two rows. That is the process. Second step is copy the first two rows again, that is 0, -2, 3, 2, 1, 1. Now once we have copied the first two rows, and then again copy the first two columns after copying the first two rows. So just take care of that. That is going to be 0, 2, -3, 0, 2, -2, 1, -1, -2 and 1. So I have copied these two columns again. First I have copied first two rows, and after that I have copied first two columns again. Now what you have to do is, here after this step you cancel first row and first column. So I'm going to be left with 1, 1, 2, 1, -1, 1, -3, -1, -2, 3, 0, -2, and then 1, 1, 2, 1, right? Now see how I'm going to calculate the elements of the matrix. So the process is very simple. Just the way you calculate determinant of a 2 cross 2 matrix, the same process you have to follow. You have to go start from left and then go right, like this. I think you understand the meaning of this arrow. So 1 into 1 is going to be 1. Do it in mind. 1 into 1 is 1. Minus of -1, that is 2. So first I'm getting 2, right? And then okay, next is this -3 -2, that is -5, and then 2 into -1, -2 plus 3, which is -1. Now again you calculate this. So -1 into 3, -3, -3 plus 2 is -1. Just complete. -1, right? Next is 1 into 0, 0, and this is going to be plus 9, and this is going to be 6, right? I think 1 to 0, yes. So now again, minus 2 minus 3 minus 5, 6, and next is 0 plus 4, है ना? Okay, now you take the transpose of this matrix. This is again a matrix. This is a cofactor matrix. When you take the transpose, you will get 2 minus 5 minus 1, and this is minus 1, 9 and 6, minus 5, 6 and 4. So this is going to be my C inverse, not C inverse. This is adjoint of C. When you divide it by determinant of C. Now what is the determinant of this matrix C? Determinant of C is going to be, so I hope everyone can calculate this determinant value. So after calculating the determinant value of C, you put it here, you will get the this is, I think C inverse is equal to, this is adjoint of C by determinant of C. Calculate the determinant, put it here, right, and then again multiply. So B into I is B, you will get matrix B, right? So this I am leaving to all the students to calculate. So that's all from my side, right? So those who are going to give the exam tomorrow, all the best, all the very best to them. And I feel the paper, maths paper of today's evening shift is little bit of from easy to moderate level. Physics also same, sir has said, I think easy to moderate level. Chemistry also easy to moderate level. But I think we have not covered all the questions. Rest of the questions is not known to me. So I have discussed whatever the question I have received. And so again, all the very best to the students. So thank you all for listening and watching the video. Right? See you.